ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Modded Minecraft with Triaxx2. As you can see, I have a flamethrower. I just woke up and had to fight off a couple of zombies. So, between episodes, what I've actually done is come over here and lay down some Logistics Chassis Mark IIs. And the reason for that is these need to be supplied with oak wood slabs. I also have a... Oh, I'm standing on the line. I also have a dark oak wood drawer, which is currently full of oak wood slabs, but I'm going to have to automate that later. What I need to do right now is capacitor bank, and for capacitor bank, I need power, and for power, well, I'm going to need the powertrain, and that's turning out to be a little more complicated than I originally thought. The train itself is not terribly expensive. If we look up flux, we can see that flux carts are fairly cheap. Some lead, some redstone, some mine carts. Excuse me. I can get mine carts I can get a pair of mine carts for 5 steel, which is not bad. Locomotives. Locomotives a little more expensive, but it's still 5 steel, and then 16 steel for the high pressure boilers. Solid fuel boilers and iron bars are pathetically easy. The problem comes from the generation, and so my options are Stirling generators and combustion generators. Now, I don't believe these. I think these can actually use fuel. You know what? Fuel. Because we have Buildcraft fuel. Let's try to use this for this, thank you. It's not listed. Well, that's helpful. Rocket. Sorry, let's try that again. Rocket fuel also doesn't list the... I'd actually have to build one of those generators. Well, that's irritating. Anyway, so we also have generator blocks from Immersive Engineering, which... it's not the... This is what I wanted, thank you very much. Yeah, they're relatively cheap. Not hugely cheap, but fairly cheap. Excuse me. We have 2 different types of generators from Engineer's Toolbox. This one actually isn't terrible, but for the amount we need, it gets kind of expensive, especially since each one has to have its own socket, because you can only put one of them per socket. This one's not bad if you can get enough hydrogen into it, and hydrogen is not as easy to generate as it seems. Zombie generator. Oh, okay. No, thank you. Hydrogen. There's actually 2 different hydrogens in the pack. There's mechanism hydrogen and Engineer's Toolbox hydrogen. They are not cross-compatible, which is depressing, and I'm not sure how to fix that, or even if it's worth the effort of fixing, because you get a lot of mechanism hydrogen and it would kind of be overpowered, I think, given that it's like 1000 RF per tick from, yeah, this. You can bottle it, although it's not really a, yeah, efficient fuel. Dynamo, stop it. Dynamos are fairly power intense. I believe we need the... yeah, compression dynamos. They're not terribly expensive. They're actually pretty stupidly cheap. Just tin. And then you add water and they'll run on basically anything. It's actually what I'm using. I don't want to land in the middle of the tree farm because then it'll suck everything up. It's actually what I'm using over here is 1 compression dynamo with 1 augment in it is enough to... How are we... Why are you turned on? Oh, you're not. You're just being pushed. Oh, I think there's a track there that's pushing it. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. Yeah, 1 compression dynamo with the... this fuel efficiency, and then this is the doubling the energy produced, so this maxes out at 160 RF per tick. and this consumes 120 RF per tick. So this actually more than generates enough to be self-powering. The reason that's running is because I have this producing chipsets, which will be make provider and supplier modules for the rail factory. Let me dump this stuff off. That's what I was fighting, were zombies and skeletons from the nighttime. What I had in mind, and I need the book now because I am brilliant. Book's not in here. Book must be in here. Yes, indeed. Oops. I want this to go in here, and come here, mister. Alright. So heavy machinery, we can do biodiesel, which we will do anyway, and that can also go in the compression dynamo, I believe. Yeah, we'll need these, which again aren't that expensive. The iron mechanical components are a little irritating to craft, but I have ways of making it work. And biodiesel. Then you make the this particular refinery, and it's not actually that expensive. And then you have to build a diesel generator. Well, diesel generator gets a little expensive because you need generator blocks and radiator blocks and heavy engineering blocks. Generator blocks are right here. They're not terribly expensive. Each one requires a kinetic dynamo. Well, two of them require one kinetic dynamo, which isn't bad. And they're used in pairs, so it's just 3 of these, which are, yeah, they're not expensive at all. It's kind of an irritating crafting recipe, but there you go. Because it's 8 iron, it's 8 copper ingots. It's 2 sets of 4 copper. Yeah, 2 sets of low voltage copper wire to make the coil, which makes, so it's 8 because you get 4 out of each copper. It's irritating, is what it is. Oh, great, generates. Oh, excuse me. Now, there are other options. We could, in fact, go railcraft, and oh, you know what? Hang on, radiator. The radiator oh, radiation warning sign. Yeah, radiator blocks also not that expensive. Although you use 9 of them and you end up with 10 craftings. So the fact that we're going to would be building 2 of these doesn't really matter. And the heavy engineering blocks are actually really irritating to craft because they require a lot of steel. I was going to use a word that I really shouldn't use, but anyway. The alternate option is boilers, and boilers are good and bad. A large high pressure now, I hadn't considered this. Because you can actually get heaters from these or kind of an awkward key combination. Large machine capable of producing large quantity of heat by burning combustible items that converts electrical energy directly into heat. Yeah, this isn't terribly bad. I don't know if it can burn fuel though. Essentially, you'd be using this to power the boiler. The thermoelectric boiler multi-block, and you can produce steam out of that. Do we have turbines? No, we don't actually have their industrial turbine, which is. These are actually awesome if you've got yourself a river, because you can get 25 blocks up, or 24 blocks of them going up and down, and that's 2,500 power. Technically, you don't want to go the full 25 blocks, because they can only output 1,000 per RF output. But basically, you split it in the middle, and then you get a lot of power coming through. But if we were to go railcraft steam, we have the option of going industrial steam engines, which max out where steam dynamos start, and steam dynamos kind of are stupendously cheap. All you need is 1 silver per dynamo, but that's the same for all the dynamos, and then the rest of this is copper. And here, let me show you. I have right copper. I have 2,000 copper, and all of this waiting to be processed. Plus, this is just what's in this system. And more of it comes in every time the processing train returns, which it's actually on its way back now. I could basically run my entire world off of steam dynamos if I really felt like it. Right, but yeah, boilers are just... I have actually used more boilers than... Excuse me. Than I actually ever wanted to. I'm not quite sure what the purpose of this is. Oh, you know what? I know what it is. Never mind. Hey, you can use that to get rid of water blocks, because it just boils them away into steam. Of course, they'll regenerate if you're not quick enough, but but it can be done. However, if we go over here, this actually runs 3 times as long on fuel as it does on biodiesel. So what I would actually want to do is build 2 of these and run one of them on i.e. biodiesel and one on Buildcraft fuel, and set the system up so that the biodiesel takes priority, and that once we get to something like 25% of our capacitors, of which I would like a fair few, then and only then is the fuel allowed to flow. Of course, that all requires effort, because it requires farms, and farms are... Why are you... You know what, never mind. Do not to ask questions to which you may find out answers. Thank you very much. But yeah, that requires more farming, and since I am trying to do 90% of things by train, it would require more trains. You know why I'm having power issues? Right at you, little booger. I heard you. He must be underground. Alright, he gets to survive for another day. I'm having power issues because my trains are slow. And this is the processing train, which has managed to hit the fueling train, which has managed to hit the forestry train, because the forestry train's out of water. Why is the... Sigh. Okay. You can just bugger off. You can go forward. You can go idle. Alright, you're cold, which means that when I connect this and this, it shouldn't die. Then I can connect you, which means you shouldn't die, which means you... And I hit you with my hammer, or with my sword here. You go idle. You can also go idle. You can go forward. Come on. Bug off. Turn on. Thank you very much. Put you down. Hey, you're actually in the right direction. And now you're not. Of course not. Because you're actually going to end up going through the system. And how are you for fuel blocks? You're actually doing okay. Not you. You. Oh, so it's actually been away long enough for the system to catch up. Not you. Not that. Thank you. Alright, so you can be in that mode, and you can go there. Essentially, we need to wait for everybody to get out of the way. So this is going to go forward. I wish there were a better way to run, to do train logic. It's a little bit finicky, which I know somewhere sneaky is laughing at me, but yeah, well, bite me. Oh, I also set up the logic over here so that the forestry train will be shunted down this path to this flux loader, and then that looks wrong. I may tweak that so that it's out here some. You know what? That will actually take like 2 seconds. So, right, come on, plug in there. Thank you. Plug there, and this one to here. Flee. Did I have? No. Can you? Yes, you can. In fact, yes. There we go. So now that it looks a little bit derpy, I totally understand. Totally accept that. Totally accept that, and it's entirely my fault. How are you? Yeah, you've got power. Yeah, this thing's entirely self-sustaining at this point. So it'll basically run as long as the oil holds out. I haven't had to add any more oil wells yet, but... And I have room for expansion out here, so it's not that big of a issue. Quarry train is still basically in shutdown mode, so... Until I... Oops. Stop it. Why did you get pushed out? Stop. Right. I don't know what... Oh, I know what happened. Because I did that on purpose. Right. So... Where's my... Oh. Forestry train has gone on ahead. So processing can go to running. And you can go to running. And they will basically go cooking on ahead. Oops. No. No. Go away. Go. Oh, for pity's sake. Go. Shoot. Alright, there we go. So processing is fueling. He didn't get any charcoal, but that's fine. As long as at least one of them is going. And since this is now running continuously, it means that we're actually going to need more power for our system here. Hang on. Let me duck down here. No, he's actually keeping up, and so is he. I find that interesting. Right. Yeah, but basically this is cooking. I could bump this up to an octadic, but that would kind of be self-defeating at this point. It's just balanced on the cusp of... Yeah, don't stand in front of the train. That's not a smart thing to do. Right. So, I actually need to set up 2 things here. I need additional these things. So I only need... You know what? That's actually fine. Alright, I already had a... Hello? Oh, extractor. Alright. I actually already had a provider module, but that's fine. This stuff can all go in here. And I need to make some more logistic pipes. I need the basic logistic pipes, which take 1 golden gypset. Got that. I need glass. I'll take 2 glass and redstone. Need 1 redstone torch. And let's see. You give me 1 of those. And I'm totally out of cobblestone pipes. Cobble. give me 2 of those. So we can go in and properly rearrange the bags here. I don't know why, but I like to have them in that specific order. That's that. Oh no, it's on top. I always flip those over. I don't know why. No, you. Stop it. You and you and you. And basic logistics pipes. Alright, so 4 of those go in to become... Oops. I need 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically what I'm going to set up are the mechanical components and the... I don't know why it does that. I don't recall there being a wrench functionality to the bed, but it also has an axe, but that should require me to punch it, like so. I'm not sure what's up with that. So nope, it's stuck up there. Let's see. So crafting. Should be able to get 4 crafting pipes by now. We can. Yes. Alright, so there's my 4 logistics crafting tables. And come on. Right. Oh, we're gonna need some copper. And there's a... I don't run all the way over there, doofus. The reason is because for whatever reason, the system insists on 1, 2, 3, 4 using forestry copper, even if it's not necessary. Right, so LV wire coil. But this wants this copper. Right. Yeah. Okay, so it's automatically doing that. Let's see. Cool. Alright, so iron mechanical components are this. Oops. Shift click it. Thank you. Make sure it's the right copper. Steel mechanical components. No. Wait a second. What is my... what steel am I using? Steel... Give it a second here. Alright, so we've got railcraft steel. Gotcha. You. And you. Those railcraft steel and forestry copper. Bleh. Alright, so... Right. Now we need the pipes. And the reason I auto-crafted the wire coil is because that's also irritating to do. Oops, give me that. And I should have just put those copper back in the thing, but that's fine. Let's see. Sent them for return. Okay, import, and import. Import, I said. Oh. Because I'm brilliant, that's why. Radiators. Not radiators. Heavy engineering? Heavy engineering blocks. Yeah. I'm also going to set those up. This should be, yes, thermal foundation. Railcraft steel. Do I have any electrum in here? I have 10 electrum. I'm going to need some more than that. Gold. Here, give me 2 blocks of gold, and I have rather a lot of silver, actually. There's actually a whole lot more than is in this particular system, but like so many other things, it's kind of stuck at the processing facility until the system actually catches up. I've been slowly upgrading. Oh, my cobalt is ready. Make my life a lot easier. over here. Oops. Oh, I've only got one cobalt. Brilliant. Okay, well, never mind. So what I will do is come over here. And one of you. And then swap you out. And push the button, and those will make ingots. No, none of that will alloy with the cobalt, so it's not a problem. One cobalt. I like the way cobalt looks. It's very nice blue. It's not too bright. It's not too pale either. Sorry. My brain's suddenly had a moment. Right. 2, and some more. Yeah. Okay. One of you. Ah, no, not Electrum. Rats. Here, you go back in there. You get down here where I can pour you out. Stop that. Right, because it's quick. It's much quicker to just melt it down and then set the block automation. Which, come on. There we go. 36 blocks. Flip that lever, and in a moment, there we go. It will now block up everything, and I don't have to pay any further attention to the system. It's not quite long enough for the full blocking, but there you go. And you know what? Oh wait, leave the mold behind. Thank you. I actually need a drawer. Give me one compacting drawer. So, heavy engineering blocks. Yeah, all I really needed was the Electrum, which the system will soon have, and you, my good sir, can go in here, and there we go. You can go away. Come on, where's my drawer? It should be here in a moment. There it is. Right. Yeah, let's go over here and... Alright, we can flip you off now. Grab our Electrum. And the system, if properly configured, and I hope it is, should immediately dump any excess Electrum, well, almost immediately dump any excess Electrum into here, so that we don't have to go chasing it down. Although sometimes I think I give it too much credit, and also here we go. Yep. Oh, use the key. Duh. Right. So we throw that in here, and after a moment, you know what? I know what to do with this. And voila. There we go. And this should now read 5 blocks. Yep, 5 blocks and 1 ingot. Excellent. So now we can actually go and request the number of radiator and not radiators, engineering. Oh, because we never set up the pipes. Or did we? I don't know that we did. Right. Right, there we go. Now we can go request engineering blocks, right? Engineer. Excellent. We have lots of engineers overalls. Right, so... Oops. Wrong thing. I need my book. we'll actually head over to the rail workshop and set that up. Let's see. Okay, biodiesel, thank you. So that's 27 engineering blocks per setup. I need more electrum, I think. Especially because the generator and radiator blocks will also take it. But again, that'll be much easier once the processing is completed. Processing to be completed I'm going this way. I'm lagging is what I'm doing. Stop. Thank you. Right, so provider, and then passive. Alright, so no. Let me have we have one stack of those. Thank you. So we need you to passively supply this with one stack of oak slabs. Same with you. And you. Nope. I want a stack. And for you. Right. Would you please quit that? Thank you. So now this should have everything necessary except for power. And power is going to be a bit tricky. I want to try out this flamethrower. Where's something I can set on fire? Maybe it's telling me that there's skeletons over this way, so let's go find somebody to barbecue here before we end the episode. I know we're gonna run a little over time. But you know what? I'm okay with that if I get to set something on fire. I'm not really a pyromaniac, it's just enjoyable. I don't want to try a creeper, and I don't want something as wimpy as a pig. Alright, where's some foeman types here? Hello? I know I'm moderately scary, but... Hello, Mr. Creeper? I can see you on my minimap. Why are you not in my face trying to blow it up? Oh, aha! Hello, Mr. Zomble. Oh, use the right button. Literally the right button. There we go. Some for you, too. Yeah, this is actually pretty good. It also has alternate modes. It has heat mode. I'm almost afraid to find out what that does. Nothing, apparently. Oh, Inferno mode does in fact set trees on fire, which is kind of nice. Yeah, we'll just leave it in combat mode. Otherwise, I'm gonna burn something down that I really shouldn't. Alright, I'm gonna work my way over here now. I can actually just rush the shortcut and head back home. Actually, I did turn down the game volume, although I'm not hearing anything. I hope I haven't been sitting here talking to myself. That would be awkward. Oh wait, there's volume. Alright, I'm safe in my house, so this has been Modded Minecraft with Triaxx2. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.